8.5 part 2. There's not even anyone absent, but I figured I'd record it just in case. Yeah, exactly. Alright, so this is just a continuation of the same things as yesterday. There is going to be one that takes like a long time to check, sort of. But it's only 3 examples. So here is our first one. It is to solve, we're solving for m, 2m to the negative 2 plus m to the negative 1 minus 15 equals 0. So the thing that makes us a little newer from yesterday is that we have some negatives in our exponents now. But we're going to do the same thing where we have to pick out a u and then try and solve it. So think about what you might make u equal in this one. Raise your hand if you have an idea for what we could make u equal to end up with like u squared or something. Sveta? I think that will work. How do I get this to go away? There we go. So let's try making u equal m to the negative 1. If that's true, what's u squared? What's m to the negative 1 squared? M to the negative 2, right? Because power to a power, we multiply these. So u squared is m to the negative 2. That seems kind of nice, right? Because I see a m to the negative 2 right here. So this is going to be 2u squared, right? M to the negative 2 is u squared. Plus what? U minus 15 equals 0. Let's see. We could try factoring. What method we have to use if we're going to factor? Have to use AC method. How do we know we have to use AC? Yeah, there's a number in front of u squared other than 1. So we're going to have to do a times c, 2 times negative 15. That's negative 30. So we want to figure out what multiplies to 30 and adds up to what? No. No. 1. Yeah. I think those are it. So can any of those get us a negative 30 when we multiply and a 1? Yeah. 6 and 5, right? We can use negative 5 and 6. So this is, remember, AC method, we've got to replace this guy. So let me use this. We've got 2u squared plus 6u minus 5u minus 15 equals 0. Yeah, I think so, right? A positive 6 and negative 5. That'll get us a positive 1 right there. So with AC method, once you replace the b value, what kind of factoring do you have to do? Grouping. So what can I factor out of 2u squared and 6u? 2u. So I'm left with u plus 3. Raise your hand if you can tell me what to take out of the negative 5u minus 15 so that I end up with a positive u plus 3. Okay, you guys need to raise your hand if I said raise your hand. Negative 5, and I'm left with u plus 3 equals 0. Jamie? Mm-hmm. Perfect. Yep, that works too. Yep. So yeah, so you guys, when you replace this b value, you can write them in either order, is what Jamie's saying, and you'll still get the same answer. So don't worry about what order you write them in. And so, all right, we've got 2 answers for u here, which means we're not done because we want whatever letter we started with. I don't remember now. M, the best letter. And then, do you guys know what we have to make u equal for this one? If you're not sure, you can set it equal to 0. So yeah, so we're going to have to add 5 and then divide by 2. So it's u equals 5 halves. So we've got 2 answers for u, negative 3 and 5 halves. But we're not trying to find u, right? We're trying to find m. So now we need to replace the u with u is m to the negative 1. That's what we said in the very beginning. U is the same as m to the negative 1. So I've got two deals here. I've got m to the negative 1 equals negative 3, and m to the negative 1 equals 5 halves. Okay, there's two different ways you guys could think about solving this. What I would do, what's the best way I want to say this? Okay, I think this will be the easiest way. We want to end up with a m to a positive 1, just a regular m, right? So if I have m to the negative 1, what do I want to take it to a power of so that when I multiply these, I just get a regular 1? Another negative 1, right? So let's raise both sides to the power of negative 1. And this is okay to do. So now, what's m to the negative 1 to the negative 1? Just m, because negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. So just m. Now on this side, okay, do you guys remember what you do with the negative exponent, the bad guy? Yeah? Yes. Remember they have to like go to jail, they go through therapy. Remember that? If they have a negative exponent. So this negative 3 is a negative exponent, so he moves to the bottom of the fraction, and now he has a positive 1 exponent. He became a good guy, right? Went to some counseling. So now the other side's going to be kind of weird. We're going to have to really remember these exponent rules. So we've got one value for m here, negative 1/3. What should I raise both of these to? Negative 1. I'll take this in steps so you guys can see what happens. So this is just a regular m now, right? Now remember, if you have a quotient, something being divided to a power, we can distribute that power. There's no pluses or minuses in here to mess it up. So this is 5 to the negative 1 over 2 to the negative 1. We just kind of distributed that negative 1 to both of them. These are both bad guys now, right? Yeah, so they have to switch. They both move. That's like kind of, going through their counseling. So 5 goes to the bottom. Now he is a positive 1. 2 goes to the top. Now he is a positive 1. Or she. So now we've got our two answers. M is negative 1/3 or 2/5. I'll just tell you right now, those both work. They both work if you plug them in. We didn't square it, so you don't technically have to check it, but you guys should. If you have time on your test, you should check it. You don't try plus or minus because we never took a square root. Okay, ready for another one? Similar? Alright, here's our second out of 3. We need to solve t to the 2/5 minus t to the 1/5 minus 2 equals 0. Again, don't say it out loud, but think about what you would make u equal. Yeah. We still have 3 days till the test, though. So right now, if you feel like you're going to fail, that's a sign that you should study a lot. You should come to a lunch help session. Maybe come to the math help in the morning in Miss Newberry's room. Maybe start doing a ton of extra practice problems. That's a sign. That doesn't mean you should just say like, well, I guess I'll just fail. No, I don't think everyone's gonna fail. I know, so I know you guys won't. All right, raise your hand. What would you make u equal? Cameron? T to the 1/5. Let's see if his idea works. So that means that what would u squared be? What's t to the 1/5? Oh, sorry, that's a 1/5 squared. What's 1/5 times 2? 2/5. So, u squared is t to the 2/5. Because if I square t to the 1/5, I get 2/5. I just multiply 2 times a fifth. That's 2/5. So this is just u squared, right? U squared minus u minus 2 equals 0. Okay, that looks nice so far. Well, how do you guys think we should solve it? Factoring, completing the square, quadratic formula. Factor? We can do regular factoring, right? There's nothing here. Does it work? Does anything multiply to -2 and add to -1? -2 and 1, right? So we just have u minus 2, u plus 1. See why that's like so nice when that works? You know how much faster that was than like completing the square quadratic formula? So when that works, you should be like, yes. So now, what are the two things that u can equal to make this whole thing equal 0? 2 and -1. Yeah? No, I'm not going to do that. Because then you'd have one less day to study. I'd rather you have more time to study. Alright, so, is this what I wanted to find u? No, I wanted to find t, and u is t to the 1/5. So instead of u now, I'm going to write t to the 1/5 equals 2, and t to the 1/5 equals -1. Yeah, that is weird. It is. It's like a square root, but it's a fifth root. So what would I raise it to? Jamie? To the power of 5. This is just like, Jack said, this is just like the fifth root of t. Remember that? And this is like the fifth root of t equals 2. So to undo a 1/5, I can take it to the power of 5, like Jamie said. Because a fifth times 5 is just 1, right? A fifth of 5 is 1. So I just need to take them both to the power of 5. Anyone know 2 to the 5th in their head? 32. So there's one answer, 32. It's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And then we've got t to the 1/5 equals -1. So what do I raise them both to? Fifth. Because a fifth times 5 is 1. So yeah, what will it be, -1 or +1? Negative. Because it's an odd power, it's going to end up with a negative. So here's my two answers. T equals -1 and 32. I'll tell you right now, they both work. You don't have to, but I would if I were you. Like, might as well on your test, because then you can almost guarantee 100% if you checked them. Yeah, if you have time, go through and check all of them. Alright, third and last example, we are going to solve 5 plus root r squared plus 6 times 5 plus root r plus 2 equals 0. Think about what you would make u equal. Don't say it out loud yet. Just think about it. What time is it? Raise your hand. What would you make u equal? Avery? I think that'll work. U is 5 plus root r. Yeah, Jack? Are you joking right now? I know. He's trying to make me mad. Because you guys always do this. You guys always do that. And I get so mad. No, I could tell he was. He had a big burn on his face. You guys can't do that. You guys need to stop doing that. We can't do it. Don't do it anymore. Don't do it anymore. Alright, so this is 5 plus root r is u. So this is u squared plus 6u plus 2 equals 0. I kind of like that when they use the letter u. Like, I'm just using it because that's what the book used, but it's kind of nice. You can use a different letter, yeah. Ugh, don't use S. Looks like a 5. You could use E. Yeah. You could use whatever letter you want. I don't use the letter that they start with. Don't use like R in this case. You can use omega. You can use A. You can use whatever letter you want. Just don't use the letter that they start with. No, don't use R. All right, so let's see. Let's see, does regular factoring work? What multiplies to 2 and adds to 6? Nothing. So you can either complete the square or do quadratic formula. Since we practiced completing this square once today, even though I honestly think it'd be way easier in this case, let's do quadratic formula just because I'm afraid we forgot it. Okay, let's vote. Actually vote this time. We're gonna vote for do you want to do completing the square or quadratic formula? Raise your hand for completing the square. Raise your hand for quadratic formula. Okay, completing the square one. All right. So do you guys remember what to do? Where do we put this plus 2? Other side. So u squared plus 6u plus something equals -2. Hey, why is completing the square nice in this one? What about this number is nice? It's even. You can cut it in half. If it was odd, you'd end up with a fraction, right? So raise your hand. Raise your hand if you can tell me what I need to add to each side to make it a perfect square trinomial. Ella? 9. 6 cut in half is 3. Square it is 9. Raise your hand if you can tell me what this side factors to. What squared? Macy? Nice. U plus 3. Squared equals 7, right? -2 plus 9 is 7. Yeah? Oh, so it was always just whatever this b value cut in half is? And it's also the square root of this number. Because remember, we used to do it like this. We used to always write this. And we would say, okay, the square root of this is u, the square root of this is 3, and then we'd check 2 times u times 3 is 6u, and then we take the u and the 3. Yeah? Alright, so now, what do I do to each side to get rid of a square? Square root it. So I'm left with u plus 3 equals what? Plus or minus root 7. And then what do I have to do? Yep, subtract 3 from each side. So we're left with u equals -3 plus or minus root 7. You should be a math teacher, Jack. All right. So u, like Jack said, are we done? No. So u is 5 plus root r. So we need to break this into a couple things. We've got 5 plus root r equals -3 plus root 7. So u, I replaced that with the 5 plus root r. That equals -3 plus root 7. What else can 5 plus root r equal? Yeah, -3 minus root 7. Okay, so we're trying to get r by itself in each of these. What do I need to do first to get this root r by itself? No. Yeah, we got to get rid of the 5 first. We got to be left with the square root before we can square. So -3 minus 5 is -8. I can combine those together because they're both just regular old numbers. This plus root 7 sitting out by himself. Okay, what's root 7 about? But what is root 7 in between? Did you just do it in a calculator? Did you just do it in a calculator? Or you just know it? Oh. It probably is. It's going to be 2 point something, right? Because 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. So it's going to be 2 point something. So, okay, think about this. If I do, are you guys paying attention in your heads right now? We said root 7 is like 2 point something. If I do -8 plus 2 point something, am I going to be in the positives or the negatives? Negatives. can I have the square root of r equals negative something? No. Okay, so this one doesn't work automatically. That was nice, right? Now let's try on this side. We've got minus 5 minus 5. Square root of r equals negative 8 minus root 7. So remember, we said root 7 is like 2 point something. If I do negative 8 minus 2 point something, am I going to be negative or positive? Negative. When can I have root r equal a negative whatever it is? Never. And a square root, I'm never going to take a square root and get a negative. So this one doesn't work either. No solution. I'll take a 0 with the slash too. The empty set. Yeah, you could do this. Alright, so your homework is page 537, 29 through 45 on. And I'm going to come really fast and check last night's homework.